Hey everybody, so lately I've had the honor of finishing 5 of my most anticipated reads of the year, and let me tell you, they did not let down. So today I'm here to review 5 books that I couldn't wait to read this year, and I want to make sure that you have on your TBR. So let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Russell with Ink and Paper Blog. How are you doing today? As always, I hope you're happy, I hope you're healthy, I hope you're safe, and of course I hope you're reading an amazing book or 2 or 3 or 4. I have to tell you, to be honest, I have had a great reading year. And it may be because so many of my favorite authors have put books out this year that I have been just waiting to read, and none of them have disappointed. So today I'm here to review a few of them for you to make sure, if you haven't picked them up, you get your hands on them as soon as possible. So without further ado, get up your pen, your paper, your Goodreads, however you keep track of your TBR. If you are so able, let's get these books from our local independent bookstore. It's that time of year. All of these are out. You can get your hands on them. Or if you're a library user, let's get your library to get you a copy so you can read it as soon as possible. The first book I want to tell you about is Entitlement by Rumaan. This is out from Riverhead Books. And I have to be honest with you, I didn't know what to expect. I absolutely loved Leave the World Behind, but I knew that Entitlement was going to be very, very different than that book. And so I was like, what am I going to do? And I wanted to let you know, I did listen to this on audio as well, and the audiobook is fantastic. This book is all about the way that money changes people. So Brooke is our main character. We meet her. She has just left a job as a teacher where she felt like she was like an art teacher. And her funding was getting cutted. That's not a word. Her funding was being cut. And so she joins a nonprofit that is basically, its entire intention is to give the money away of this rich white man. I should say that Brooke is a black woman. She is single, and she has joined this organization that comes into play. I'm just giving it as like reference. And she meets him one day and they go to have lunch, and he sort of like empowers her as a prodigy. And she sort of gets absorbed into this world of money and seeing what this rich man can do and afford, she sort of loses sight of herself. She makes promises she can't keep. She decides that she's going to make purchases that she doesn't know exactly if she can afford. She lives in New York City. Life is expensive. And as money corrupts the way Brooke sees the world, the relationship she has with her family, her peers, her friends, all starts to change. The book is riddled with ideas of how money can be such, what's the word I'm looking for? It can be such an infestation into who you are as a character when you allow it to take over and help you make poor decisions. I thought it was an immensely intense book, which I didn't expect. And I thought that it was so interesting in the way that it was looking at the world and money and spending money. So that's Entitlement by Rumaan. And this is out from Riverhead Books. I want to thank Riverhead for sending me that copy. Really enjoyed it. Would love to know if you've read it. Would love to talk about it with someone. Okay, a book that I didn't know how I was going to feel about because I've had some like hit or misses with this author's prior works, but was really excited because this book was coming out and it was getting a lot of advanced praise. And that's Our Evenings by Alan Hollinghurst, out from Random House here in the United States. This book did not disappoint. I know I read an article or a review that called this book a return to form for Alan Hollinghurst. And I always think that, take that with a grain of salt. But is this an epic novel that I got myself 100% immersed in? And also, again, I'm an audiobook while I read person. Phenomenal audiobook. This is the story of Dave Wynn. We meet him at the start of the book. Sort of his benefactor has passed away. He was granted a scholarship to an all-private school when he was young by a man, a family, a very wealthy philanthropic family, and that changed his entire life. Now Dave is half Burmese, half English. He lives with his mom. He has never met his father. And what happens is we sort of, at the beginning of the book, we attend the funeral. We find out that the son of this rich man is now sort of like a conservative party leader in the British political system. And then we flash back to their childhood and sort of see how Dave Wynn became the man he is today. He is young, he is queer, he is a man of color, and he is an actor. And he lives with his mom. His mom's a seamstress. Her relationship dynamic changes. I don't want to give it away, y'all, because I didn't see it coming, and it's really, really good. But basically, we just spend our life, or the pages, in the life of Dave Wynn and those around him. We see the world changing. We're seeing how, from the 1960s forward, the world of queer men is changing, how Dave sort of interacts with others when he finally meets someone he's going to spend his life with, and then the effects of present day England on them. The ending of this book is so heartbreaking, but beautiful in a lot of ways as well. The writing is phenomenal. The characters are vibrant. I loved this book. I'm having a hard time creating my top 10 this year because there's so many really amazing books. Our Evenings by Alan Hollinghurst is definitely up there. I can't get this book out of my head, nor The Life of Dave Wynn, so please pick it up. You will not regret it, I promise. Okay, let's do a little translated fiction and talk about Mina's Matchbox by Yoko Ogawa. This is out from Pantheon here in the United States. I think I've read all of Yoko Ogawa's translated books. I am a huge fan of her. I should say this is translated from the Japanese. Is it Stephen? Yeah, by Stephen Schneider. I think he's translated almost everything by her that I've read. And she writes such vastly different books. This is the story of a young girl in the spring of 1972. She's 12 years old. Her name is Tomoko. She is sent to live with her aunt because her mom, they're very, I don't want to say poor, but they definitely are struggling to get by. Her mom has decided to go to Tokyo to learn about dressmaking. So she sends her to live with her sister, Tomoko's aunt. Her aunt is very wealthy because she married the heir to a soft drink dynasty, and she goes to basically what is this like ginormous mansion, meets her cousin who is Mina, who collects these little matchboxes. There's a pygmy hippopotamus on the property, and there's a very eclectic group of family members. And over 1 year, this is how Tomoko and Mina's relationship sort of comes together. Mina is often ill and has different ailments that cause her to sort of withdraw, but it's really just about the dynamics of the storytelling in this family. Very poetic. This is a very quiet book. If you like quiet books about people and just relationships, this book will really speak to you. I loved it. I could see if you want or need like a driving plot, this book may not be for you. But if you just like books with great language, great characters, and just really about people, Mina's Matchbox by Yoko Ogawa, translated from the Japanese by Stephen Schneider, out from Pantheon, is right up your alley, and I highly recommend it. Okay. And I was about to say last but not least, but it is in that the last two books that I'm going to talk about are both out from FSG here in the United States and are by two of my absolute favorite writers. Small Rain by Garth Greenwell is an amazing tale of a man who winds up having a illness. He gets sick, he has this immense pain, and no one can figure out why. He tries to fight through it, and there's nothing he can do, so he's hospitalized, and he's there for some time. And this is really sort of a discussion of the American medical institution, but it is also the story of him and his relationship with his partner, the love that is there with his husband. It's about that loneliness we feel when we can get ill, how our bodies turn on us as we get older. You know, as someone who has just recently been through some health stuff, I have to say this book really spoke to my heart. It is scary to get sick. It's scary to feel alone. And this all happened in the novel, it all happened during COVID. So there's that extra level of anxiety to everything that's going on. But it's about his relationship with himself. There's a lot of poetry in this book. Garth is a poet by nature. It's very dense writing, but you'll never feel that way. And it's just so beautiful and so poetic. And I was really sad to not see this book on the National Book Award long list. Maybe it came out at the wrong time, but I just think Garth Greenwell is an amazing writer. All of his books are just so vibrant, and this book just really spoke to me as like a person getting older and worried about what happens, and that feeling of loneliness that can come with illness. Small Rain, Garth Greenwell, FSG, 100% recommend. Please don't miss it. And last but not least today, I'm going to talk about probably my most anticipated book of 2024. And that is because I am a Sally Rooney stan. I have read all of her novels. I love all of her books. I know she's not for everyone. She is for me. I think her books are amazing. And her new novel, Intermezzo, that just came out this year, again from FSG, was absolutely mind-blowing. This, by far, to me, I will always say Normal People is my favorite Sally Rooney book, but Intermezzo to me is probably her best book overall so far. The story of two brothers. They've just recently lost their father. There's a big age gap between them. The older brother is dealing with the fact that he is really in love with two women. One, an old girlfriend that's been a family friend for years, who has had an accident and has health issues, so their relationship came to an end, but he is clearly still deeply in love with her. And he is also dating a much younger college-age woman who sort of gives him a sense of life. And I will say he doesn't give her credit for being the adult that she is. She makes some interesting choices, don't get me wrong, but she's much more sophisticated than he gives her credit for. There's that dynamic. And then the younger brother is a professional chess player. He's been struggling as his father's been ill. He's been struggling with his performance. He goes to a small town to do a chess. He plays everybody in a chess club or something, and he meets an older woman, and they start a relationship. She is separated / divorcing her husband. That relationship is it has its own dynamics, but they sort of find each other, and that idea, that age gap for the two of them is more of a problem for her as she's trying to figure out what to do, but he's realizing what it's like. He's young, he's like 22 or I think 25, maybe at the oldest, but he's really starting to realize what it's like to fall in love with someone. Sally Rooney just writes people, in my opinion, better than almost anyone. And the relationships and the dynamics that she's able to put on a page with such stark, crisp language is just mind-blowing. I can't put her books down. And I know she's not for everybody. Set in Dublin, by the way. I would argue she's probably one of the great Irish novelists right now. I just find her work to be brilliant. I think if you like family novels, if you like novels about people finding themselves, dealing with tragedy, dealing with loss, she just doesn't do it any better. And Intermezzo, so far, probably her masterpiece, though I will still argue all day long for Normal People, and I love Conversations with Friends too. I love her. Sally Rooney, Intermezzo, please pick it up. So that is, what is that, 5 books, 6 books? 5 books that I've read recently that I was waiting for all year long, and I am so glad that I got to read them. I hope you pick them all up, and I hope they all make you as happy as they made me. As always, if you're a return subscriber, I could not have done this without you. If you are new to my channel, please pick up these books, watch videos. I will be here to recommend books all the time. As always, I encourage you to read globally, shop locally, and until next time, I wish you happy reading. Bye, everyone.